Okay, we're going to talk about a little bit about probability. And specifically, we're going to spend some time on conditional probability. So to begin with, let's define probability. Probability is just the chance of something happening. And it's going to be calculated by taking the number of ways that something can happen. Now, we're going to call that, whatever that is, as an event. So if we're flipping a coin, it could be heads or tails. Heads would be one event, tails would be another event. So the probability of getting heads will be 1, because there's only one head on a one head on a coin, divided by the total number of possible outcomes. Now, an outcome is just the way something could happen. So it could happen either heads or tails. It's two different possible ways that it could turn out. So the probability of getting heads would be 1 divided by 2. Okay, now conditional probability is the probability that something will happen given that another event has already occurred. Sometimes it will make a difference, that first thing happening, and sometimes it won't. We're going to be talking about things where it does matter right now. And so here's an example that I'm going to give you right down below. So let's say we survey, we've got a two-way table, and what this table represents is just 70 different people that own an automobile or truck or SUV. So what I call an automobile, just like a regular sedan, a 2-door, 4-door, whatever. It could be like a Camry, for instance, Toyota Camry. So that's an automobile. Truck or an SUV, that of course would be a different class. It's a different type. Now we're going by manufacturers, so Ford, Chevy, Dodge would be U.S. manufacturers, Cadillac. Foreign manufacturers might be BMW in Germany, right, or Toyota or something like that. So each one of these is an event. It could be an automobile, a truck or an SUV, U.S. manufacturer, and foreign manufacturer. Now, each person that we talk to is going to have an automobile or a truck, and it will be from a U.S. manufacturer or a foreign manufacturer. So 2 events will occur for each person. Now, so I want you to, what we're going to do first is we're going to read these two questions and compare them. The second one represents conditional probability, and the first one doesn't. So when we read this, it says, find the probability that a randomly chosen person owned a U.S.-made auto. Okay, down here it says, given that a randomly chosen person owned an auto, what is the probability that it was U.S.-made? So in both cases, we're talking about U.S.-made and auto. So these are the 2 events, right? Okay, but there is a huge difference between the 2. If you look at this, where it says find, that's where the question starts. So everything after this is the question. So what are we trying to find? We're trying to find what's the probability that it is U.S. made and it is an auto. So if we look at this, manufacturer, U.S. made, 18, right? Now here it says given. Now that word means that it's telling you, it's saying we know that it's going to be whatever it is first. Now what do we know? That this randomly chosen person owned an automobile. So we know that it's an automobile, but we don't know whether it's going to be U.S. manufacturer or foreign manufacturer, because that's what you're going to be finding. So this is where the question starts. What is the probability that it's U.S. made? Okay, so it's only going to be one event right here. So that's very important, because now, as soon as you know that it is an automobile, you know it has to be from this column. So once you know that it's an automobile, there's only 44 different autos, right? 18 of them are U.S. made, 26 are foreign. So now when we divide On the bottom, it will be 44 on the denominator. We still have 18. So how many ways could it be a US made? There are 18. On the top, it says find a probability that a randomly chosen person is owned a US made auto. Well, it's still going to be 18 in the numerator. But we don't know if it's this group, what group, where it's going to be. So, I mean, we're picking out of the whole group of people that we asked, the grand total. So that means we're going to look over here and we're picking out of 70. So that's the difference, basically. As soon as you see that word given, it's telling you to narrow it down, and you're going to be using either the column total or row total, depending on what it's talking about here. So automobile, it tells you it's going to be this total right here, 44, that you divide by. If it said given that a randomly chosen person had a U.S. manufactured car, manufactured vehicle, then you would be going with the row total. Now the way you calculate that